What did you make of the appointment of Roy Hodgson to begin with? They brought him back, right? Things weren't going that well, and they looked like they might be going down last season. Roy Hodgson came back and steadied the ship and did a great job. Firstly, didn't he? Did a remarkable job. Is he still the right man to take Palace forward, or is Crystal Palace at the moment just the job of make sure we stay in the Premier League?
Well, at the minute, it was one of those where it almost feels like they're not. I won't say they're treading water, but it's what is the ambition? And last season, when Roy left and Patrick came in, I remember a load of Crystal Palace fans coming on and saying, yes, buzzing, no more Roy football, because it was hard to watch under Roy. Patrick Vieira obviously had his struggles. Roy came back in. Oh my goodness, it was like he had a brainwave while he was away. He comes back, they're winning games 4 or 5. Did they score 5 at Leeds or 6 at Leeds? Right. And I thought, wow. And then I thought he might step aside again at the start of this season and let someone else come in. The fact he's still there a little bit, like I know he's Mr. Reliable. I know you're in safe hands with Roy Hodgson. The experience that he's got, I understand all of that. But at some stage, they're going to have to move on from Roy. Like I know he did a fantastic job at the back end of last season when they started playing attractive football, scoring loads of goals. But the start of this season should have been saying new. And even if you keep, I am in agreement. You should have kept Roy there as like an overseer, whatever role you want to give him at Crystal Palace. Give him some form of role there. That if the worst comes to the worst, he is there. But I wouldn't have started this season with him. I would have tried someone else.
See, Crystal Palace fans would tell you, well, they're 11th at the moment in the Premier League, which is not bad for them. But I think the problem they've got this season is creativity, or the lack of it. They've scored 7 goals in the Premier League so far. No one has scored fewer.
Well, you look at who they've got. I mean, listen, Odson Edwards actually started all right. He's got 4 in 8.
Yeah.
But he got 5 last season. You've got Jordan Ayew, who's got 8 goals in the last 4 years. 8 in the last 4 years. That Gene Phillips.
Say that again. He's got 8 goals in the last 4 years.
In the league, in 4 years.
That's crazy.
Then you've got Gene Philip Mateta. He's got 8 times the whole time he's been at Palace. And he got there in 2020.
That's nuts. 8
goals in that time.
But they've got players in their squad and when everyone's fit that do create chances.
But again, when you look at squads, the depth of their squad, I think they've got some really good players that are in their starting 11. So you've got the likes of course, they're two. I'd say they've got 4 superstars. They've got Elise, Michael Elise.
Would you put Gurhey in there?
Gurhey's another one.
Right.
Anderson, his partner at centre-back. Eze.
Yeah.
Them 4 there, I think.
That's a lot, by the way.
That's a lot.
It's like a third of the team, give or take.
Very good players. I think if they keep continuing, I won't say they're showing a lack of ambition, but there's not a lot going on. I think they're able to continue and again tread water this season, and then they get to the end of the season and they finish what? I don't know. They survive because they're not going to go down.
No,
they finish 13th or something. I think you might start seeing the likes of Gurhey, which I think a lot of the big heads are going to be after. I think a lot of the big heads will be after Anderson because he's decent as well. Eze and Elise they've been linked to top clubs for the last couple of seasons, so I think there could be a real problem there if they don't start showing a bit more ambition. Okay,
we'll take calls from Palace fans 03717 22 304. Just ever so quickly, a word about Spurs. We have to talk about them. A massive game for them tonight. I don't think it's ever easy going to Selhurst Park.
No,
and Palace, we've talked about their lack of goals, etc., but we expect that to change. But a real big chance now for Spurs to extend their lead to 5 points, which would be absolutely huge for a club like Tottenham, won't it?
I know obviously everyone plays tomorrow, but you're right, it is a huge, and that just psychologically, if you have that little 5-point buffer going into the weekend, people are looking at that going, oh, a little bit of a gap there, but fair play to them. They've played really well. And Postecoglou's gone in there, completely changed the dynamics of the team. They look comfortable. They look dangerous again, the free-flowing football. So, yeah, you'd expect them to go into this game against Palace thinking, we can win this.
If they do that, that'll be 10 games played and 5 points clear, right?
Yeah.
I know other teams have got game 10. At what amount of games do we start thinking about Spurs, how we did with Arsenal last season, going, I think they've got a chance?
I think if they're where they are and they've got 10 games left, you start going, okay.
So we need to be on like 28,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, you can't be now, 10 games
No,
in.
I know that. I was just thinking maybe in the new year after Christmas, middle of January.
Because again, I know I keep saying that, and you talk about Man City. We've seen these guys before. Just get off to a bit of a slow start while they figure things out. The moment it clicks, they start reeling off 5, 6, 10 games. I don't know why I went 5, 6, but 5, 10 games in a row.
Yeah, okay.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.